Hey everybody, it's Kevin and it's Zane from RPH Ally. And guys, I promise someday this pointing that you see and me laughing about myself, I will get it right. That I have to point the opposite direction, so I actually look at the person that I'm talking to. This is a super exciting day for me. Zane and I have been buddies for a bit, talked about all kinds of things in healthcare, all kinds of problems in healthcare. We're always wanting to do something together. And so Zane joined us with having his Digital Thoughts channel on RPH Ally, which is going out, and lots of great content is going into there really soon. But the other thing we talked about is we do these conversations anyway. So why don't we record it and kind of push it out there when it comes to what's happening in the healthcare technology world? And so now you guys have the healthcare technology show with Kevin and Zane. And the stuff we're going to be talking about, Zane, like on a regular basis, you want to let people know?
Yeah, no, thanks, Kevin. Kevin is building me up way too much, but I will try to live up to his expectations. No, I mean, my thing is I love technology and I love healthcare. I think the where they meet is a extremely beautiful place to be. For me, technology can not only interesting, but it can also help us do our job better, and that's what I want to convey. That's what I try to convey with my newsletter. Is looking at different topics. Certain topics are a little um, more controversial than others, but I like to take the topic, break it down to people that aren't really in the technology space, and then I also like to talk about how I would implement that technology and the good and the bad of that. So we can. So this will just be kind of summarizing all of that, what I think about things, and then hopefully get interesting people. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, and then also have a podcast where I get interesting people doing awesome things in the healthcare technology world. Every week. Hopefully, it'll be every week. But so yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing, and that's kind of what we will be hopefully talking about, summarizing, and then also just random things. If you guys have any questions, maybe we'll field some questions and make that the topic of the week. So we'll see. We got a lot of things in my head.
Thankfully, buddy, it's so easy. Like right now, the world of digital technology, healthcare technology are just buzzing like 24/7 on new things to think about, talk about. I feel like everybody everybody has done a chat GPT post.
I have
And
not yet.
you've not. Good job, Zane. You did one before about an AI written thing before chat GPT. So I
Yeah.
got to give you credit on that. You're a trendsetter, bud. But one thing I like to talk about to Zane about is really how we need to utilize fax machines more often in healthcare.
Oh my
But
God.
so
I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
I love it. No, so anyway, a lot of great conversational pieces. We'll be able to tie some things back to the content live. Zane's not just covering like, hey, here's a new technology out. It's really like conceptually, he's talking to people that market healthcare technology, tying dots to billing in healthcare technology, sales of healthcare technology, and the different funnels and streams of integration that are necessary to go from ecosystem kind of environment and point solution and how they interplay. So lots of subjects for us to be able to jump into, and we will try. 10 minutes is going to be tough for Zane and I for some of these things, but we'll talk about a myriad of things that are going on, and especially ways to be able to get you involved. I think both Zane and I noticed that when we first started in our careers, like clinical career pathways for any healthcare provider, you often get stuck in just like, here's your job, here's the forms you fill out, here's how you use the technology. Instead of being able to dig deeply into it and truly understand it, how it functions, how you can leverage it, how you can alter it. And so we both were very dissatisfied with that and wanted to dive deeper into ways we could make it better. Right. And when we were doing so, Zane started his own startup, went through the process, saw the, kind of VC world and capital funding world, saw kind of the pushback of, market adoption and all of those pieces. I've been involved in a few startups in my career and seen all the hurdles and growing pains that they kind of go through. But one thing really nice that Zane and I mean, really nice, like I'm patting us on the back, but something that we just wanted to do because we care about healthcare providers working in this space. Like we're both tired of like people from the technology space thinking they have any idea what to do in healthcare. Oftentimes, if they don't have a partner or an individual and we're not biased at all, but anybody like us, all of us, that are in the healthcare world to really guide the process and get them to the next stages, not going to benefit us long term, right? And so what we're going to do is a pitch competition, right, Zane? But
Yeah.
directly targeted toward healthcare, like the healthcare world.
Yeah. So The idea was I was just kind of this is kind of I was just kind of build I'm just trying to build something that I wish I had back then, like a little community to kind of even just share your ideas and get feedback. So we are starting a pitch competition where we are looking for startups that have either healthcare founders, like clinician founders, or co-founders, and that is really the only thing we're looking for. There's a forum that we will I'm sure Kevin will add on here, and I'll also share it as well. You fill it out, and then also there's actually one more thing that we're asking for is the pitch deck, because we want people that have kind of thought about their idea and are ready to present it to people. So the goal of this initially is we're not making any claims or anything like that. Hopefully, if it gets big enough, maybe we can get some investors in the room. But right now, it's more so for people to get their idea out there, solicit some advice, and maybe find some mentors. So that's kind of the idea of that. I'm really excited for it, and hopefully others will be as well. So we'll see how many people we can get. The goal is to have the first one last Thursday of February. So basically, we're starting to take entries now. Kevin and I will be looking through the entries. I mean, hopefully, we get a lot more than a couple, but we will be looking through the entries and seeing which ideas would be good for this type of thing, and then go from there. And then also, if you're not picked or anything like that, that doesn't mean your idea was bad or anything. I mean, hopefully this will be a monthly thing, and if we get a lot of entries, we'll just keep moving people down to different months and such. And we'll be hopefully we will be communicating all that as we're looking through the entries. We're not gonna keep anyone in the dark or anything like that.
Really intimate. I mean, that's what Zane and I are looking for, and it's great because I've got my buddy Serge sending us over some love here and saying, "Hey, love it," and would be good for validation. Serge is right. Like that's exactly what Zane and I want to create. Is we've got a lot of contacts like throughout the industry that have gone through different things, looked at startups in different ways. So not only like operations and funding and financing and ways like barriers to entry. So all of those elements, like they're not intuitive, to start out with, to be able to like move through the paces and get yourself where you need to position yourself to be successful. And so it'll be great just to bring together kind of an intimate group, so that we can start talking about some of these things and opening up hopefully some doors and making some connections and collaborating just in general. But we're going to do it in a fun environment, and we're going to do it in kind of a whole different style. And
Yeah.
Zane, I love to be a little bit nerdy and creative with those things, so we'll be releasing those details soon. But for the group, it's going to be somewhere around, what would you say, Zane, 4 or 5?
Yeah, we're trying to keep it to an hour. So the format will be we're still trying to decide, but probably 5 minutes to pitch, and then 5 to 10 minutes of questions. To feel people just in the audience will ask you questions, and then we'll kind of move on from there. And then we also want to leave some time afterwards. So if people want to know more, they can just talk to you guys personally. So that's kind of why we don't want to have like 30 or 40, well, hopefully we get to, I mean, if we get that many entries, that'd be amazing. But that's why we don't want to like have too many startups, because we don't want to split the audience too much. We want it to be focused on very few people, and so they can get the best feedback possible, and possibly hopefully some connections.
We don't want the clubhouse feel. Like I appreciate some of the things we got from it, but going up on stage, talking for 1 to 2 minutes, and then just being one of hundreds of people, just kind of giving their initial pitch. I mean, that's not the experience we want to cultivate, because we really want to encourage healthcare people to get into this world, right? And the ones that are doing it to be able to connect with each other and hopefully be able to connect some resources. So not only be up there and do exactly what, Serge just commented to us. He said, idea, why, and why now, like
Yep.
all of those elements kind of being broken down, exactly kind of the overview. And then the other pieces that's great is you basically now have a sampling of other healthcare nerds that would be buying these solutions or deploying them in their systems to be able to give you valuable feedback. It's not just I mean, I'm a hater, Zane, and you can always check me, but it's not just some random VC has no idea what they're talking about, or it's some other business individual that really doesn't know the overall adoption, how things actually flow in an individual market, how they're paid for, et cetera. You've got people that are living and breathing it, and trying to sell other products inside of it or have experience in it, that can give you some feedback on, here's what we have encountered when we were trying to do similar things, and take our advice and things with a grain of salt. But, at least we can put some collective brains all together. And hopefully, the bigger picture is really to just stir up some minds.
Yeah, and my biggest goal with all of this was, and we talked about why I wanted to do this, is I always talk about creating a culture of innovation inside of healthcare, and instead of waiting for others to do it, I was like, why can't we just start it? And hopefully it takes off. But I mean, we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to give a forum for healthcare clinicians, people that work in healthcare, to share their ideas, because I know from personal experience, there's a lot of amazing minds, and they just don't sometimes they just don't have an avenue to get their ideas out there. So that's kind of all we're trying to provide. And like I said, hopefully, I mean, I have grand plans like I do with everything. I don't want to share all of those, but let's just kind of get the first event down. Let's get the first couple events down, and then we can start slowly start trickling that out if people are liking it. I mean, this is not for me, this is not for us to stroke our ego. This is about the participants, and I want to make it as such. So if the participants are liking it and it's going good, then we're going to keep continuing it. And we're going to hopefully not hopefully, we will be soliciting feedback after every event from the participants and all the people that were there, because we want to keep it improving and moving forward, and just make it an awesome event for everyone where they're looking forward to it, and rather than okay, just another whatever, right? I want people to be looking forward to it, and I do want to create a community, a small community, hopefully a big community of just awesome people.
Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I think that there's like you said before, I think the pharmacy world, I mean, we're both intimately connected with the pharmacy world. And I do believe there is a unique perspective from pharmacists on what things, what technologies, what needs in communities are there, because they see so many steps in kind of the healthcare puzzle. And so I look forward to that cultivation. And I also look forward to other healthcare providers coming in and us all collaborating together, right? And us kind of getting to see our various perspectives and work, because just like Don said, he said, explain how the solution will deliver meaningful impact.
Yeah.
And he knows me well, and he's trying to tug at my heartstrings. But like for Zane and I, like we're dreamers, like we both are. We really want things to do well and to make impact. But when it comes to solutions kind of going into play, that's one thing we've got to consider. Is honestly, like, how is this solution going to do anything else but be another middleman or another checkpoint
Yeah.
in the system? How is it really going to improve healthcare and patient care overall? And I couldn't be more thankful to be with my brother Zane to be able to do these kinds of things. So, buddy, thanks so much for joining this journey with me. I look forward to everybody that is commenting to be able to join Zane and I to be able to give some advice out there, and all the startups that feel like they need some help along the way, or just a friend kind of in the space. We're here for you, and we're looking forward to connecting with you. Zane, anything? This is the end of our first show, man. This is
Yeah,
fun.
man. Yeah.
Any parting words?
Yeah, no, we'll have the links to the forums out. It's a Google form. So like I said, we're starting to take applications right now. So yeah, off to the races. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just excited, scared, everything. So we'll see how it goes.
I love it. Okay, so if you guys want more of some of the things that Zane is doing, all the digital thought stuff, Zane has his own channel on RPH Ally where he puts all kinds of posts, information, additional content, joins in conversations. You can join this live show every single week at this time, and then we'll put out some additional information on that pitch competition. And if you guys have other things you'd like Zane and I to do through the Digital Thoughts Technology channel, let us know. We're always looking to be able to improve the technological understanding for all of our healthcare kind of colleagues. And we look forward to hopefully talking to you next time. But everybody have a wonderful evening.
Bye, guys. Thanks.